Okay. Okay. Mic check 1 2 1 2. I am the Y2K collector and I am back. I do have some pickups for the month of May. I'm gonna go through these kind of quickly here today. May is starting off as a really hot month, especially when it comes to handhelds. I've had a ton of luck running into very clean handhelds out in the wild. I've also have been able to make some pickups and some online pickups just from all of the sales that I've made. I sold about $1,000 worth of stuff in the month of April, which for me that's a ton, right? Because I really rarely ever, I'm not into this even part-time. This is truly a hobby for me. But yeah, getting $1,000 worth of stuff out the door definitely helped me get some of the pickups that I have here today. And so I'm really stoked about all of that. And so I'm not going to do too much jabbering or blabbering. Let's jump right in. So I'm going to go quickly with the Switch pickups because I did have a couple of Switch pickups here, and we're going to start off with some pre-orders that came in. So we have Andros Dunos, and pardon me. All right, we're just going to get that in focus there. So Andros Dunos 2 on the Nintendo Switch, a nice little shoot 'em up there. And then also picked up Rolling Gunner and Overpower. This is also another shoot 'em up on the Nintendo Switch. So two cool shoot 'em ups there. And then also Battle Axe. So Battle Axe Badge Edition. So this is a game that is not new. This has been out for a few months now. It's been out for maybe it came out definitely within the last 6 months or so, maybe even the last year. But they did come out with a special edition for that game, and you had to order it online. And my copies just took forever to get here. But I finally got it. So that was cool to finally get that Battle Axe. This is a cool 2D sprite based top down action role-playing game. It's pretty cool. It's like the top-down version of Golden Axe, just better looking, right? So I love the Switch for games like that. All right, so that covers the Switch stuff. Keeping it going with the Nintendo stuff, gonna take it back into time for you. Now, all of these games that I'm gonna go over right here are all games that I got at the thrift store, and most of these games are average. I'd say maybe $3 a game. So not too bad on these. Let's get it going. So first up is Donkey Konga, and this did not come with the congas, and it doesn't have the manual. It is disc and case only, but $3. I thought this was really cool just to even find GameCube games out in the wild where I'm at is rare. So really cool to get that. Okay, and the next one up that we've got here, this one is complete in box, and this is Over the Hedge, little DreamWorks game there, but this one's done by Activision, and Activision is known for putting out some good stuff. So even though this is a cartoon-based game, it looks like it's like a 3D action platformer type game, so pretty cool. These are always fun on the GameCube, one that I picked up at the thrift store. And then on the same day, they also had this. This is a complete in box copy of Shrek, right? So Shrek 2, which is pretty cool to find this complete in box in the thrift store. Again, when I find these, especially when they're in good condition like this, all of these games, even if it's just the case in the game, they're all about an 8 out of 10. Didn't even need to do much to wipe them down. And then we also had a Wii pickup here. This one came in at $2. I already took the thrift store sticker off, but I leave the GameStop stickers on. Those are harder to take off, and I mean, it's GameStop, it is what it is. But this is Virtua Tennis 4. I really do like tennis games. I have this on the 360. And this has got to be even more fun on the Wii, just because those tennis games on the Wii were just really fun. Like the Wii Tennis, I would play that all the time. I think I might bust that out, get that going tonight. All right, so let's keep it going here. So then we have Marvel Superhero Squad, and this is we're getting into the 360 stuff, right? So they did have this there. Again, these games are fun. It's not like, Marvel Ultimate Alliance or anything, but all in all, it's still a fun game. Some really cool characters in here, and this is one that they had, and I wanted to add it to my 360 collection, so I grabbed that. And then they had this is like new, so it was sealed, but the seal was like halfway coming off, so I just took it off. But I did leave the seal there for the with the game, with the label and the SKU or the barcode. I left that on there. I'll eventually get to this one. Not in a rush to play this, but Marvel Superheroes on the 360 was basically new. Glad to get that one there. All right, now just keeping that train going, I did get some PS3 games, and you're going to ask me, why do you keep getting PS3 games? Well, I might as well cut to the chase and just show you, because I did actually pick up a PS3. Now, I'm not going to show you the PS3 because it's super heavy and I don't want to lift that up, but I did finally get my hands on a PS3. No, it is not the backwards compatible PS3, but that's okay. In my game room, I usually keep a PS2 hooked up at all times, along with a Sega Saturn and a Dreamcast. Those are always connected. I did have my Switch plugged into the TV, but I just play my Switch Lite. No need to have that plugged up. And, I really only, use the GameCube or like any of the Wiis or any of the other consoles very, very rarely. So I really don't keep those connected. So, but yeah, PS3, really got that because there are some PS3 games that I'm really anxious to dive into, and let's get into some of the ones that I want to dive into. So here's a really cool game. When I saw the footage, this game reminded me of Race Storm, but just a helicopter version. So this is Under Defeat, on the PlayStation 3, and it has that whole like top down shoot 'em up. But it's like a 3D style. So if you have ever played Race Storm, it kind of feels like that, just a helicopter version. So pretty cool, at least to me. So that was a pretty cool one there to get on the PS3. Then he had, here we go. So Trinity, Souls of Zil-Ol, on the PS3. Pretty cool action RPG that I wanted to add there. That's just right up my alley in terms of the gameplay styles that I like. And then, of course, how could I have a PS3 and not have this one, right? So Castlevania Collection, Lords of Shadow. And then you also get the demo there. So pretty cool little collection game there. So added that. I'm a Castlevania fan. I really have a big I would say a big collection of Castlevania games. I would say across like all platforms. I would say I have at least 1 or 2 Castlevania games. If it came out on the system, then I'm going to try to get my hands on it. All right. So then just keeping that train going, with the PS3 that I bought, it came with this clean copy of Dragon's Crown. So I really like this game. This is like a side-scrolling beat 'em up hack and slash style game. You just get some really cool moves and power ups and specials and stuff like that. So I'm all about that type of gameplay. So that was when I added there. And then also Folklore, another action RPG for the PS3. This is one that I definitely wanted to add to the collection there. Folklore, pretty cool PS3 action RPG game. And then here's another thrift store pickup, Little Big Planet 3. I don't know if I've played these games. I think I have maybe part 1 on the Vita or something like that, but I don't think I've ever gotten into these games yet. So looking forward to it. It's kind of like that 2.5D kind of side scrolling platforming type of game. So I'm all about that. And then the last of the thrift store games is this pretty clean copy of Harry Potter. Yeah, so wanted to add this. I have a section in my PlayStation games. I had a bunch of PlayStation games that I was getting ready to trade and sell, but then I was like, no, you know what? I think I want to kind of continue to grow my PS2 collection. So when I see PS2 games that are my style, I'll pick them up. This is a cool Harry Potter action style game. You could just see it's almost like that third person kind of you're in the world of Harry Potter. A little bit of platforming. Obviously you've got your wizardry moves, so pretty cool find there. And again, these games average, I would say $2. Because this is one of those thrift stores that when you go on the right day, you could be buying stuff for 75% off. And then it's just, now you're buying stuff for 25 cents, 75 cents. So it's really cool when you can find that stuff. All right, now we're going to get to some of the cool stuff. We're going to talk about some of the consoles that I picked up so far in May. Totally stoked, right? So first up, I did get an Xbox 360. It's pretty gross, right? So I'm in the process of getting another controller. I'm not going to show the console just because it's heavy, but yeah, I got an Xbox 360. I do have an Xbox One that I can play my 360 games on, but it's really clean, and I don't even think I want to take it out and risk getting it messed up. I like the fact that it's really, really clean, so I just kind of leave it parked where it's at. And this 360 was again picked up at the thrift store, so this is one I can kind of throw around and beat up and test out all my 360 stuff on. So I was kind of stoked to find that at the thrift store. Then here's another really cool thrift store find. Actually, I'm going to save this one. So like I said, I'll show you this. So I did make a online pickup just because it's so hard for me to find these in the wild. And I had some funds that I had gotten in from the sales that I had made. And so I finally found a reasonable one of these and went ahead and got it. And so I got myself an AGS, the Nintendo Game Boy SP Advance, the AGS 101 model. It's so tough to find these, and it's tough to find them in 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 condition. And then when you do, they're like really, really expensive, or they've been reshelled or something like that. So for me, when I saw this one, I felt like it was a pretty clean, advanced SP. I thought the screen was pretty clean. The body was pretty clean. I mean, when you look at the shell, yeah, it's got some wear and tear there, but I felt like it was a pretty clean advanced SP 101. So went ahead and got that there. Man, I'm really stoked about that, just because that, playing the red SP that I have, just not having that backlit screen is kind of tough. And yeah, it comes with that light, but it's just something different about having the backlit screen. So I was pleased to have that one staying in the collection. And then oddly enough, I was in one of my local thrift stores, and they had this really clean advanced Game Boy Advance SP travel cases. And I thought that this was sick. It was like mint. Now this was minty fresh. And I picked that up. I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and grab that. I can't remember the last time I saw one of those that clean. And you could probably pick these up online for dirt cheap, but just seeing it in person, and it was a pretty good deal. So I picked that up there. And then, so here go some of the last two pickups. Well, along with that Advanced SP came this copy of Sonic 2, but the label's been completely taken off. So probably going to just bundle this and sell it. Yeah, so that's some trade bait there. Now we'll get into the good stuff. So I happened to stop in by one of my other local thrift stores, and when I walked in, usually this guy will have systems, but they're usually really beat up, or they're way overpriced, or he's charging just barely above eBay prices, and it doesn't even make sense. So I walked in this time, and dude had this sitting behind the counter, right? So I don't know much about special edition consoles, but when I saw this, something kind of struck me, and I was like, I need to see what this is about. And he had told me that there was another gentleman in there earlier trying to haggle with him, trying to talk him down on his price. But he wanted I think the guy was trying to get him down to 130, but he was really stuck on his 150 price. And I kind of looked at it. I saw that it's not perfect, but it is pretty clean. A little bit of scuffing down here, but it is a pretty clean pre-owned I guess, Monster Hunter edition of this 3DS XL. And when I looked at it, I think new in box, I was like, wow, these are like $420. I was like, go figure that. I was like, wow. And so I looked at the inside. It already, whoever had it put like these screen protectors on it. So it's had screen protectors on it, minimal use, right? And again, he wanted 150. I did try to talk him down a bit, but when I looked at it, even pre-owned, these are going for like 320, and it just made sense. I said, okay, I'll take that off your hands. And it came with a sweetener, right? So here's the sweetener. The sweetener came in the form of this Dragon Ball Z. What is this? I can't even read that. What is it? It's Extreme Butoden. Dragon Ball Extreme Butoden. So pretty cool pickup there. Totally stoked about that. Just had a really great day. Excited about it. Okay, and so the last pickup that I've got so far in May is probably my favorite pickup so far for the month. And this one, it's really kind of strange how I got this. It's a very, very clean Sony PS Vita, right? And this is one that I happened to find at my local pawn shop. Now, I never really go to my local pawn shops because they don't typically carry video games or anything like that. But, when I walked by, I could see that they had like a PlayStation 4 there. So I said, I wonder if they have any other stuff. And I kind of just assumed that they would only really have like Xbox One stuff, PS4 stuff, Switch stuff, maybe some PS5 stuff. But I wasn't really thinking that they'd have anything older. Well, lo and behold, they have this little lonely PS Vita 2000 model just sitting there. And I said, can I see the Vita? And she said, yeah. She's like, yeah, this thing has been sitting here for like 6 months. We haven't been able to get rid of it. And after a while, it started to make sense because like most people aren't really going to buy a Vita because there's no, you can't buy a Vita game at like a big box store, like at a Target or a Toys R Us. So, and most people don't want to have to go to like some kind of, mom and pop video game shop for their stuff. So, and I don't know, that thing was not trying to stay in focus anymore, but I'll give you a shot of the back here if this will stay in focus. Yeah, look at that back. I mean, super clean, not a scratch on this thing. It's super clean, super fresh, straight out the box. I'm guessing someone just had it. Maybe it was given it to them as a gift and they just didn't know where to get games for it. So they just said, screw it, I'll just pawn it. So I took it. And what's even better is that it has the original charger, right? So that was a huge plus for me. Getting that Sony charger, there's so many of those aftermarket chargers out there. But to find like the actual, the real one, that was a kicker for me. So, and that does it for this month's pickups so far. It's been a very wild beginning of May and just got some really great deals. I mean, between the 3DS and the Vita, paid $200 for the both of those, or sorry, $250 for the both of those. And they're both ringing in values somewhere in the neighborhood of $600. So that was a really cool pickup for me. I'm not too sure if I'm going to keep the Monster Hunter Generations 3DS XL because I do have just a plain red one, and the plain one is fine for me. I don't really need anything elaborate. So I'll probably sell that, and then just really looking forward to adding those PS3 games to the collection. But let me know what you've been getting into. Let me know what you've been buying. If you're finding any good stuff out there in the wild, is it easier to just buy online? Let me know. I am the Y2K Collector. Hope you're having a great weekend. Take it easy.